Welcome to Dead and Kind of Famous, where we dig into the life stories of dead folks who enjoyed a touch or two of fame in their time
and now reside permanently in the Hollywood Forever Cemetery.
I'm Marissa Rivera, and I know nothing, but I do know that moving ain't for the weak of heart, for the faint of heart, and pizza is the only thing that is suitable for moving.
For moving? Oh,
Literally,
100%.
yes.
Yeah.
I know it's such a cliche, but like that's literally all I want every night.
Yep.
Pizza.
Yep. So just to clarify, you are not moving. You have people moving in.
That's right. Special people.
Special people.
Special people.
So it's you know, you're more like moving your stuff to accommodate for other stuff.
Yes. And the amount of dust. I washed my face 3 times today. You can't tell. You can't tell. I'm just like, why do my eyes hurt so bad? Oh, it's the dust. I've literally washed my face 3 times.
Just from like nooks and crannies you had forgotten.
Oh yeah. Like literally every corner of my house has been upended, and there's just bags and bags and bags and bags of stuff to donate and to, garage sale stuff and to move upstairs and to move downstairs. It's just like a constant reshuffling of life, which I'm so happy about.
Yeah.
But I'm ecstatic about, but I'm so exhausted.
Yeah, I get it.
So if I'm a little low energy, I apologize. I did have a little bit of a soda at 8 p.m. my time.
Perfect.
So I hope that doesn't screw me up for sleep.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I know. What do you? What do you
not know?
That's what I not know. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, introduce yourself to the people.
I'm Courtney Blomquist, and I know way too much about who we're talking about, which, spoiler alert, is Mabel Fairbanks. Because
this is episode 2.
This is episode 2 of a 2-parter. So if you didn't listen to episode 1, what are you doing?
Go back.
Yes. But anyway, so I don't know why, because I don't know science, right? And this is like child science. But I don't know why when you take like the slime stuff, that they play with, and then they also have Play-Doh, why when you put them together, because they do stuff like that, children, it becomes so unmanageably sticky that it's like getting it. I have it all over me right now, and it's not. I can tell it's not going to come out, and like, and I feel like it was. I don't know. It was getting everywhere, and then the other mystery. Okay, so it's like it took me forever to like just wipe it, to just roll it, kind of just chafe it off her hands, because that was the only way. Because water was just nothing, And then the other mystery is that like, so a lot of it was falling on the ground. So I'm like going around taking the big blob of the sticky slime and trying to pick up the other little chunks of sticky slime.
As one does.
And yes. And then the floor, and I tried to clean it afterwards too. It is so slippery. It's very odd. I don't understand. I mean, it's to the point where I'm like, I feel like I'm going to fall sometimes. I'm like, why is this? It's just a complete and total mystery.
Don't break a hip, birthday girl. It's Courtney's birthday week, ladies and gents.
It is.
And thems and theys.
It is. It was a big birthday.
Send in your
birthday.
big birthdays. It's the big, should I say it?
I mean, I've entered my 4th decade of life, right?
Yes.
4th. Yes.
4th. You're 40, not 50.
Well, I know, but
Jesus.
you know how sometimes when you're like you're not a year old, like you're 0, but I don't know. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about.
See, Seems like I'm not the only one who's exhausted.
Yeah. I mean, always. I've been exhausted for like 3 years. But yeah. So that happened. It was fun. I did spa services, exfoliated my body, and they did a wrap thing that made me feel like a baked potato. And I
gotta say, your skin, you're glowing.
Why, thank you. I did a facial.
You look gorgeous. You look gorgeous. And
Marissa
swear to God, if you ever post a video of this particular recording, I will kill you.
Sorry, everybody. It's not going to happen.
No one wants to see a visual of this. Okay?
That is a lie.
Courtney looks gorgeous.
That is a lie. You always look gorgeous. And you're probably not even wearing any makeup right now.
Of course not. I'm wearing a layer of dust.
But it doesn't look like that. That's what's so annoying.
Well,
that's what's so annoying.
The filter's on.
No,
Courtney.
you're actually, well, okay. All right.
The filter's on.
I put like some sort of filter on and I didn't realize I had it on for my calls, and people are like, "Oh, why does it like, you look so fresh. Did you put a filter on?" I was like, "No." And I did. I lied about it. And I'll also lie about my age to people who I feel like it'll matter for. I don't know. Maybe I make no guarantees. I will say whatever I want when someone asks me how old I am, and it's going to depend on the day. So,
but you will tell the truth as much as you know it. When it comes to Mabel Fairbanks.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And that's why I've told you all the truth. You all deserve the truth if you're listening to this podcast. But, a stranger? No, I'm 34. So, anyway. When we last left Mabel Fairbanks, Hollywood had given her that golden ring on the telephone, or sent a majestic telegram. Mabel can't actually remember exactly. She was, as a reminder, quite old at the point that she gave this interview, which, shows itself sometimes. But the point is, they summoned her some way, somehow. And that Norwegian bitch, Sonia Henney, was working for 20th Century Fox and doing the skating thing for them. And now MGM was calling Mabel to get her to do some skating tricks for them over at their studio. But Mabel wasn't interested.
I said, I don't want to go, really. I'm having so much fun working on the 6x6, so let's just do that. And you're always on radio or something like that where they interviewed you, so I said, that's fun. I wasn't making any money other than my 6x6 tank, but the other things, it was fun doing them. Anyway, a woman called from Los Angeles, and she was in New York or something like that, and she had heard of me. Somehow, she and Wally got together. I don't know how they got together, but the next thing I knew, we came to Los Angeles. We lived with her in the Alvarado Hotel. We stayed there for only 2 or 3 nights when she said the manager said that, I can't have anyone staying in my apartment because they didn't have blacks in those apartments at that time. So you have to move, but you can go live at the New Moors Hotel where all the entertainers live.
Side note, Sammy Davis Jr. was also staying at the New Moors Hotel, and Mabel claims to have befriended him while she was staying there, because she did go there, and convinced him to become a solo act. That's what she said.
Love her.
Yep.
You know what? I believe her.
I believe her too. She's just, I feel like it all connects. It does. Mm-hmm. So that story, as she tells it, it's slightly convoluted, but basically Mabel was saying she wasn't interested in the offer, but Uncle Wally and this unnamed woman with Hollywood ties convinced her to go out there and go for it. Mabel does clarify that there may have been a specific film they were interested in her for, but the opportunity was for a general contract to be in films as a skater, which is, being a contract player is just the way that they did things at the time. So this was pretty common. But I kind of feel like, and obviously that would have its drawbacks and everything, but for somebody like her, that would have been a big deal, because it's like
huge,
because you get more opportunities than just one film. Like when you're a contract player, they're finding stuff for you to do all the time. So, I mean, that's how I understand it.
I love that her nemesis, who she could give two flying fucks about, but I'm saying, like, her nemesis, Mitch Sonia Henney, was at 20th Century Fox, and MGM was the one who was calling up Mabel.
Yeah, so. Yeah. No, it's interesting. It's interesting. And
they were like, we need to compete, but what's our edge? How do we make it different?
And she doesn't remember the exact movie either. Like, so it's like, I don't even know what the opportunity exactly was and what they were thinking with it. And she might not have been the star of it or whatever, but like, it still would have been something. And the other confusing thing,
more than her 6x6 little ice box.
Right, sure. Right. And the other thing too about Sonia Henney, I'm just going to say this, is like, she's kind of like, the more you look her up, the more she's, she definitely is like this trailblazer in ice skating. And so there's contradicting things sometimes between what Mabel says and what other people say of people. It's interesting. I'm just going to throw that out there for people to go peruse their own rabbit holes.
Maybe she was the type of person who treated different people differently.
Well, yes, I know. But it's just like, it's weird. You know what I mean? I just don't want anyone coming after me. Like, I'm telling Mabel's story right now and her perspective on things. So, whatever.
This isn't about that bitch Sonia, okay?
This isn't about that bitch Sonia Henney, okay? That bitch. That Swedish chef bitch.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
I do love that she's like, no, I was having fun. She truly, for the love of it.
Yeah. And I think, like, I wonder if there's, I don't want to like psychoanalyze her, but it's hard not to sometimes. I wonder if there was like a fear of trying sometimes, or like trying for big opportunities, because she was like always told she couldn't do stuff. I mean, she did keep trying, but it's like sometimes when she's like, oh, I wasn't interested, it's like, I can't care about this because I've been disappointed so many times. Do you know what I mean? I wonder if there's like some level of that, like in her, like, oh, I just didn't care. I don't know. Maybe not, but just
maybe
a thought.
Not. But maybe. It's speculation entirely.
So,
okay.
So anyway, despite their influence, this woman and Uncle Wally, in convincing her to go for it, it's largely because of Uncle Wally and this Hollywood lady that Mabel didn't get the contract.
In the end, I didn't get the job for the movies because Wally and this lady were fighting over how the money would be divided. They called the studios and said, you write out 3 checks, one for Mabel, one for me, and one for Wally. They said, we don't do business like that. We're hiring Mabel, and she gets the check. Now, what she wants to do with it, that's her business. But she might not give us any of it, they said. Well, that's still your problem. Don't bring it to us. So anyway, they fought and fought about it. Must be 3 checks. So I said, okay, I'll tell you what. To cure the whole thing, I won't do the movie. So let's pull it that way. Damn. Okay. They didn't care because they weren't going to have a 3-way split. They rather not have me pay them than to have a say. They had to be the boss. Interesting.
Yes. Okay. So let's.
She
just
was like, I will not be controlled. And you know what? Kudos to the studio for being like, no, we're paying the person who we're contracted with.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was going to ask you. Like, I know that these are different times. There's contract players. There's all these things that are different than than it is today. However, tell us how a manager is supposed to be paid.
It depends how you set it up.
Okay.
The money always is going to first go to the whoever is being contracted. So whether it's me personally or if I'm contracted under my my business, it goes to me first, unless I specify in my contract at the time of being hired that 10% goes to the manager, the rest goes to me. Or if you're real dumb, you can say or you can pay my manager, the money. Basically, you set up at the very beginning where the money goes to. But the money, unless you specify, the money always goes to the performer first.
Okay. Yeah. So that's just been, it sounds like the way that it's been forever, unless you go outside the box and go out of your way to do something
also,
weird.
like, why would you as a studio, why would you as a business, like, pay for a service and be like, we're paying for a service, but we're actually not going to pay for the person who's providing the service?
Yeah, that probably messes up their, like, everything that they're doing, tax stuff,
can
whatever.
be like, and that person can be like, I never got paid, and can go after,
Yeah. So there's all kinds of reasons why that's messy and
so many reasons.
stupid. But also they're like, they want to do like a 3-way split. Is that what they said? Well, I guess they just said they want
parties
3
involved.
checks. But Wally did have, she talks about it later, but like he did have like a 50-50 thing with her for a long time, which is like bad. But she was like, and that's when she's like, oh, I'm so happy doing this. I don't care about the money. Like that was like that stage for her. But that's going to change. So anyway.
Good.
So by this time, Mabel had moved into a housing situation with some printer friends of Uncle Wally's. Printing was another interest of Wally, in addition to all his promoting and managing. So she stuck around LA and made a new home away from home at a local rink. Because if Mabel had a rink to skate at, Mabel was happy. That's really all she needed.
I love her.
But it didn't take long for another studio, this time Warner Brothers, to come sniffing around.
I wanna say, I love Warner Brothers. I just want to say it. It's my favorite lot to film at.
Okay.
It
okay.
is.
Don't they still have...
And Universal, because when I first moved to LA and I went to Universal just like for fun. And if you don't know, if you've never been to Universal here, it's not like Universal in Florida, where Universal in Florida is like literally just a theme park. Here in LA, part of it's a theme park, but most of it is a studio, an actual working studio. And it's kind of like the park is kind of built in the mountain,
sort of like above it.
Yeah, so above it. And then there's 2 basically levels to the park. And when you go down to the bottom level, you ride these escalators for an eternity. But the whole time you're riding, you look out over the whole studio lot and you see movies and commercials. You see the business being done and movies being made, and you see it happening in real time. And I remember first moving here and being like, going down those escalators and being like, one day I'm gonna work on that lot. I'm gonna film on that lot. And the day that I did, I was just so thrilled. It was thrilling. And it wasn't my first lot that I'd worked on, but it was like when I worked on that lot specifically, it was just it was thrilling.
Yeah. I experienced that lot as well in a completely different way because I was a tour guide there for a minute. I don't know if we've talked about that on this show. We might have. But yes. But that was like
for the backlot tour ride.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like you
have to be really funny and high energy and good with people.
You take them through all that because it's a weird situation because there are all these like sound stages and stuff around, again, for anyone who hasn't been there, and you're passing by everybody who is working like Marissa, like, on the lot. And then you're also like, and then there's that working studio. And now we're just going to drive into this like empty looking cave where you'll get a King Kong simulation or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's weird. It's like definitely like theme park elements within a working studio. It's very odd. It's very strange. So, but anyway,
fun.
but really fun. But it's like a whole, it's an alternate universe. So anyway, they were doing a live show in Cuba, and because this is Warner Brothers, right?
Right.
And because Cuba was a quote dark country, Mabel's words, not mine, they needed a quote dark skater. And obviously Mabel fit the bill. She's been being told that that's the problem the whole time. And now they're like, that's exactly what we wanted. So they found her at her rink and offered her the job. And as Mabel tells it, it was a man named Leroy Prince who was working on the choreography for the show. And he said to her,
"We're going to do a show in Cuba, and we need a black skater. Would you be interested in going?" I said, "Yeah." The amount of times she said yeah and okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very zen.
So I said, "But I want $750 a week. You better work, Mabel. You better work." Yes. Yes. So I said, "But I want $750 a week." And they said, "Okay." What?
Yeah.
Wow, yes. But the cast was only getting around $150 a week, so Bob Turk, who was doing the choreography on the ice, because Leroy Prince was putting it on the floor and he had to put it on the ice for us, he said, "Nobody's getting that kind of money. Why are you going to give her that kind of money?" So naturally, they reneged on it because of that. I said, "I don't think I'll be going." They said, "I'll tell you what. We'll pay you under the table, and don't you let anybody know how much you're getting. They don't want you to get that kind of money." Well, hot diggity dog.
I know.
Yeah,
She's
Mabel,
like,
way to fucking get him. You better get him, Mabel.
I know. It's just like, she's just like out the gate, like so ballsy. And she could have, yeah. So it seems.
You know why? Because they needed her and she did not need them.
That's right. I mean, she didn't. She was just like,
she held all the cards. Damn.
Which is like,
I
but
wish
even
to be in that position one day.
But even to
Jesus.
realize that, do you know what I mean? She's been like, she's been shut down so many times. Like, it seems as if Mabel knew her worth, obviously, right? And
yes.
It also seemed that at this moment in time, she may have been better off managing herself than letting Uncle Wally drive the car. Just saying. Like, that was a pretty good negotiation, if I do say so myself. So Mabel was jetted off to Cuba, making 5 times as much as the other performers. That is crazy. And I love it. I just want to point out, again, this is a self-esteem and self-belief that could easily have been diminished at this point.
Squashed.
Totally. And in some ways it was. She'd been turned away from so many shows simply because she was Black. When asked about the creators of the Ice Follies and Ice Capades, they were a duo named Shipstads and Johnson, Mabel said,
"None of them liked me, of course, because I was Black. None of the producers of the shows. They didn't even want to see me around. Nobody seemed to have liked me. Maybe I didn't like myself. I don't know. They say you have to love yourself for other people to love you. So maybe I didn't love myself."
Mabel, I know there's these little heart-wrenching moments where she seems so strong, but that's kind of what I mean. I feel like she has to put on this armor all the time, and I think that you get a little bit of that, just it's so hurtful, you know. So I know.
I'm about to start my period. That almost made me cry.
I know. I feel like I'm watering up too.
Jesus.
But, and yet she negotiated quintuple the pay of the other skaters, despite those heavy, shitty feelings. But back to Cuba. At that time, Cuba was a popular vacation spot with a fair amount of wealth, extravagance, and political turmoil. The winning combination.
The trifecta.
Yes. Mabel regularly got offers of marriage from several wealthy and attractive Cubans while she was down there. And although she enjoyed their wooing, she always opted out.
There was one who used to have the singers serenading me under my window. Every morning, they'd come with their banjo or whatever it was they played and serenaded me. It was so lovely. I really enjoyed it. I would stick my head out the window and really enjoy it. But that's as far as it got. I said, I don't want to marry any Cubans because they're all going to say the same thing. Don't go to the States. And then they were fighting over there politically about who was going to be the next leader. You know, Batista, who's going to be next? Castro, we're going to put Batista out. They were fighting over that. I said, well, since they're up in their political thing, I'd better forget the whole thing. And I've got to go home.
She's like, I don't have time for this revolution or whatever the hell is happening here.
Batista, Castro.
I don't know who these men are. I don't know why you're talking about them. I don't get it. Like, no. But, it was more than that. It was more than that, like that she was like, no, I'm not going to do that.
I love how she was like, these men are going to try to control me and keep me from going back to the States.
That's right.
That was keep me from working.
That's right.
Goodbye.
Right. She recognized that could get in her way. And although she had long-term relationships that were soon to come her way, most notably with a tall Danish director and writer named Neil Larson, and she was with him for several years, but very much a footnote in the way she tells her story. But yeah.
Mabel, you better work. I love her.
Mabel continued to refuse proposals of marriage. In her words,
I'm not marrying anybody. I'm married to my skating. That's right.
But shortly after returning to Los Angeles from Cuba, Mabel was booked for another show in Mexico at a club called the Follies Bergeret. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Bergere? Berge with a tilde, but backwards. So
it's not a tilde though. It's like a accent, like a backwards accent.
Isn't that what a tilde is? Tilde?
No, isn't a tilde like the little squiggle above an N?
I might have to get my Puerto Rican card revoked. It is Follies Bergere, Berge with a backwards tilde, RE. For 6 weeks.
Yep. She did that for 6 weeks. She said that she loved it, but it actually sounds like terrifying to me. This is her account. This is what she said.
We played there. Lovely. Then they decided to have a revolution.
She keeps going places. They're like, oh,
she can't escape the revolution. She's so funny. One day they came through the theater with their sacks or whatever they had, machetes. Oh my God. And they said they cut off one kid's head. I didn't see it, so I don't know. What? We all had to run to get out. And we got out of the theater and we were able to go to our hotel. And another time we were there at the theater, we had a flooding. You could see these bathtubs and things going down the street. I had so much fun in that place. What? So I said, how are we going to get out of the theater? Because we have to come back here tonight for the show. This was in the morning. So finally, the fellow who was our interpreter who we had, Mario, he come out and he said, okay, guys, you want to go to your hotel? We said, yeah. He said, okay, I've rented a tub. this bathtub and went, row, row, row your boat down the street.
Okay, that part sounds kind of fun. But she's just like, there was machetes. They cut off some kid's head. I don't know.
No, I didn't see it. I don't know.
This is just like her sleeping in Central Park. She's like, it was nothing. I was fine. Insanity. So, but in that show, Mabel was treated like a star.
Hell, they had built for me a dome, and out of this dome was fire. And I had to leap out of this fire to come out to do my jungle dance. They had seen me dance. They said, she needs some more background for it. It was a gorgeous background. I loved it.
So Mabel continued to be booked despite the overt racism in these shows.
And busy.
That's right. And even in the US, she did. She started to get booked more and more. She did a televised show called Frosty Frolics that in many ways, according to her, was her idea. She had met the future producer of the show, Klaus Landsberg. Klaus was the pioneering manager of the Los Angeles television station KTLA, and he was
still
involved
here today to this day.
Mm-hmm. And he was involved in rehearsals for Showboat for the station at a theater on Melrose. So Mabel just walked in, the way she tells the story, and struck up a conversation.
I said to him, why don't you put skating in there? Because I'm an ice skater. Could you put skating in there? And he said, oh, God, Klaus. What is your accent, Klaus?
I don't know anything about Klaus. He was in America for a long time. I feel like you can do whatever you want, but obviously he's German.
No.
Go for the German.
Klaus needs an accent.
There's no, like with the Z, right?
There's no. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay. He said, there's no skating in Showboat. So I said, put me in anyway. He said, no, that wouldn't be right. So he said, be patient. I'm thinking, maybe I can give you a show. I can do a show for you. I said, okay. So that's when he came up with the idea of Frosty Frolics. Okay.
Yeah. And true to his word,
he's literally like, there's no ice skating in this show, but I can make a whole other show for you.
Seriously, the way she tells the story, it feels like she walked in off the street, interrupted his rehearsal, and was just like, hey, can you put ice skating in your show? Because I'm an ice skater, so I don't know. Like, that's such a crazy thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine? That's a crazy thing to do.
I love it. I love it. I hope that is what happened. I
Yeah.
mean, how else would it have happened?
I don't know. So, and true to his word, Klaus did start a show called Frosty Frolics at the nearby Polar Palace on Melrose. It was a KTLA show that was the first weekly television skating-themed program in America, combining figure skating, live music, and dance as a kind of variety hour. So, a totally fresh thing. And when Mabel got back from Mexico, they had already started rehearsing for the show without her included. And it was helmed by choreographer Bob Turk,
Who we've met previously. I just thought I was just automatically in because it was because of me that the show was going on. But all the kids fought to keep me out. They said she can't come in because the only thing she knows how to do is ballet. So I didn't tell them when I did shows, because I always had to do shows in dark countries, that I had to do some of everything, you know? And I just had to create my own stuff as they played the music. So they said, she's going to have to learn how to do the cakewalk. She's going to have to learn how to do the boogie woogie. She's going to have to learn how to do tap. She's going to have to learn how to jungle dance. And this and that. I think it was about 5 dances they said I had to know how to do. There was this fellow, Willie Coven. He taught for Warner Brothers. He taught the dancers. So I went over to his studio and I told him I have to learn to do a tap number and a boogie and a rhythm skating, and I had to do the jungle, anything that a black person is supposed to do. So he said, okay. I said, they gave me 2 weeks to learn how to do all those dances. Don't worry. you can do them. He said to just be in here at such and such a time in the morning. Bring your lunch with you because you'll be here all day long every day.
So she was just like, all right, now I'm committed. Now I'm going to learn all
he's
this
like,
stuff.
you'll learn. It's going to take all day, every day, but you'll learn.
But we're going to get it. We're going to get it. We got 2 weeks. Let's go. So Bob Turk had originally told Mabel that she would have 2 weeks to learn all the new choreography. So Mabel rehearsed for 5 days straight with Willie all day with her lunch, her sack lunch or whatever, with him tapping out the rhythm for her with his cane and keeping her on beat. That's literally what she describes. And like such a classic dance teacher.
I mean, totally.
Yes. Sitting in a chair, just
like
hitting your cane on the floor.
1, 2, 3, 4. What is it? 5, 6,
6,
7,
8. Yep.
1, 2, your hands in the air.
Yeah.
3, 4.
Stop
what's
slouching,
your knee
straight up
doing?
straight.
5,
Yeah, exactly.
6. Yelling criticisms in time.
Yep, exactly. So, I know, I feel like you just took me back to like ballet classes from my childhood. Anyway, so they had originally told her that she had 2 weeks to learn the choreography, but then Bob Turk called and he said,
the show has got to go on and we have to take back the 2 weeks. You don't have 2 weeks to learn them, so I guess you're not in the show.
So Willie, who had been teaching her for the last 5 days, cleared his schedule. He called to make time for this, called Klaus Landsberg and asked when they needed her for rehearsals. And he said, tonight. So Willie promised she'd be there that night. So Willie and Mabel showed up and she executed all 5 dances perfectly. Chef's kiss.
Yes,
perfectly.
Girl. And I just went through whatever they wanted me to do. Then Klaus says, okay, she's in. So all these skaters were mad and they said, how did you learn all these dances that fast? We said that you had to be here in 5 days and that wasn't enough time to learn one dance. How could you come up with 5 dances? And I said, because God is on my side and I'm on his side. Motherfucker. No, I said that. To be clear, I said that. Mabel didn't say that. I said that.
It's hard not to add these little zingers.
Yeah.
But Bob Turk was not a fan of having Mabel in the show, and he had her dress as a maid for the show, which feels kind of like the ultimate racist way of making sure that she didn't attract too many eyes, So he sent Mabel to Western costumes.
And also the most like unimaginative.
Oh, of course. Well, I think it's just like,
racism. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like I don't know what to. And he kind of, he'll get there. But he basically says this later. Like, I don't know what to do with her. It's like, so I'll just do what everybody does, make her a maid. So anyway, he tells her that she has to go to Western costumes to find a maid outfit. He sends her off to do it herself. And Mabel turned down all of the costumes they brought out until they showed her a maid costume that had once been worn by star Betty Grable. And because Mabel knew she was a star, that is the outfit she chose.
I did a rhythm number that night. I'm telling you, it wasn't myself out there doing that number. God took over. And it was just fantastic. I'm telling you, I was just in seventh heaven doing it. And everybody in the audience stood up applauding. So I stole the show, of course. And then they were angry because I stole the show. Get off the stage! You get off the stage! Get out here! Get back here behind the curtain! But the people wouldn't let me off. They were still applauding, and the more they applauded, the more I did. We're gonna cut most of this out, I said. You're not the one taping it. KTLA is filming it. I said, they'll show whatever they want to show. They were mad. Don't you ever do that again, or you're not going to be in the show. I'll find some way to get you out. So anyway, the show went on, and every number I did, I was just fantastic.
Just telling it like it is.
Oh,
I love
God,
it.
I love her.
like her
I
confidence is
love
the
it.
best. The best ever. It really is. It's the best ever.
Mhm.
So, but Bob Turk still fought to kick her out of the show. He went to Klaus and said,
What was the voice I used for Bob? I don't know. You know
it doesn't
something?
matter.
You know something? I can't think of something every week for Mabel to do. She can't skate the show every week, maybe every other week or other 3 or 4 weeks. I can't create anything for her to do. After all, she's black, you know, and it's hard creating things for black people.
Landsberg said,
Who's that?
Klaus.
Klaus.
I'll just say that.
Klaus. Okay.
said,
Just use her in the show. No. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. My name is Klaus. Just use her in the show as you do for
in
everybody.
this show. Yeah.
The show. Just use her in the show as you do for anybody else. Don't think of her as being black.
Turk shot back with,
Oh, no. The cast wouldn't like that.
and Klaus said,
Well, she's in this show anyway.
but yay for Klaus, right?
Yay
but,
for Klaus.
Yeah.
He's like,
do your job.
fuck you, she's in the show. Do your job.
She's in the show. Do your job. So a few weeks later, Klaus, as much as we love him, suddenly passed away. And the show just suddenly died. She's just like, yeah, he died. When she's telling the story. And the show was fully canceled by KTLA as a result. I think they were like, this was this guy's crazy idea, even though it was doing really well. I don't know. Like they just, I think it was a big production. And so they canceled it. But Mabel had proven once again that she was a showstopper, even if her castmates and choreographers were trying to stop her from being in the show out of sheer racism. Now, as a counterpoint to this story, what's really confusing is that other sources describe Bob Turk as being a champion of Mabel, fearlessly casting her when segregation was at its strongest. There's also stories of the
please.
Right? And there's also stories of the cast not allowing Mabel to eat with them and Bob Turk joining her to eat with her outside so she wouldn't be alone. And this is the way Mabel tells the story in her oral.
This is giving? You know what this is giving? This is giving. Okay. You remember, did you ever see Hidden Figures?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. You remember Jim Parsons was in it? Jim Parsons was the guy who played Sheldon in Big Bang Theory.
Yes.
And you know how the whole time he was like super racist and like at the end sort of like begrudgingly like respected her and worked alongside her. That's what that is giving.
Right.
He
Where
was forced. It's forced the entire time
to tolerate.
To tolerate and be smashed in the face with her brilliance until he accepted it.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe he did go outside to eat with her every once in a while, but
I don't know. It's like
I don't believe it.
I don't know.
I don't believe it.
This is
I
her
believe
story.
Mabel.
I believe Mabel too, and she even says she doesn't tell any of
Believe
this.
women.
Believe women in their oral histories.
That's right.
She says that she did know him before this. She doesn't she said that they had been friendly at a certain point because like he was taking her to dance classes and stuff and would even give her a ride. And that was, I think, before that they worked together. It's hard to piece together timelines from her accounts sometimes, but that's the kind of the way she's telling it. So she's just like, I think it was hurtful on another level because she's like, I thought that we were good, you know? But I honestly feel like what I'm getting from him is like he couldn't stand up to the racism of everybody else, you know, had his own, I'm sure, but also like didn't stand up for her. If everybody in the cast, which she is saying, was like, we don't want you here, we're going to make it as hard as possible for you to be here. And he's just like, okay, I'll go along with you guys. Do you know what I mean? Don't you feel like it seems
Which
like that?
is such a bitch move.
It is. It's a super bitch move.
It's
so
a super bitch move.
it's like, oh, I just want to be
the most
liked by the majority.
Cowardly of
Yes.
racism. You know, it's
Right.
It's like the people who stay silent in the face of racism or sexism, whatever ism, you know, and the people who stay silent about it are worse.
Well, and he was in charge. It's not even just saying silent. It's like setting the tone, you know? So yeah. But so anyway, she was like, whatever, like they canceled the whole show. Like the way she phrased it was, he got his comeuppance, and she's just like, the universe handled that, you know. So, but this is like, okay, yeah, that's the way she tells the story. I believe her, right? The next show Mabel did was a touring show called Rhythm on Ice that was run by a man called George Arnold. Once again, she was the only black skater in the cast. And once again, she secretly negotiated her rate to be $750 a week. Yep. And if racism hadn't been enough of an obstacle for Mabel, now she was dealing with sexism from George, which was a little surprising, as George himself was gay.
Well, you know, gay men can hate women too. Straight men hate women. Gay men
especially
hate
when they're
women.
hiding themselves, and at this time you know that he was.
Yes. God, I'm exhausted by the patriarchy. George had a way of always pulling the girls' dresses up, you know, over their heads. It could be in the streets. He doesn't care. To him, it did not mean anything because he was gay, and that meant nothing to him. So I said, George, don't ever do that to me. So he said, oh, no. But he did anyway. Murder. I would murder. I would straight up knife him in the streets.
Yep. So after touring through Palm Springs and around the country, they brought the show to Pittsburgh. And that's when George decided to mess with Mabel's dress.
We stopped at a gas station to get the car filled up, and there was a fellow there sweeping up the garage. It was at night, but this fellow was the only one there. He pumped the gas also. All of us in one car. There were 7 in the cast. Everybody in one car. So George decided that he was going to show the fellow, while I was with the show, that I was a play toy. So he takes my dress and pulls it up, and I hauled off and slapped his face so hard I said, don't you ever do that again. I said, you can play with the rest of the cast, but you don't do that to me. He was so embarrassed because of the kids in the car. If we had been alone, it wouldn't have bothered him. But for the rest of the cast, they said, you're not going to let her get away with that, are you, George? He was embarrassed, and he apologized to me in front of the cast so they can know that everything is okay. I said, George, I will never apologize to you because you're not going to do that to me again.
It's like, you're right. You do owe me an apology, but
You're right.
will not
I
apologize for slapping you. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Mm-mm.
No, thank you.
But this was not the end of it. Mabel had humiliated George in front of the cast, basically. I mean, very much rightfully so. So he cut her out of the show and stranded her in Pittsburgh. And the show left the town without her.
They took off and left me there stranded, they thought. But you see, I was saving my money. Every time I got a check, it went to New York at Chase and Manhattan Bank, and I had a checking account there. So all I had to do was write a check for a ticket to go any place I wanted to go. So they couldn't strand me. The rest of the cast, they could strand because they only got $75 a week, and he took that back from them. They were just so happy to be in the show.
She's like, that's why I asked
you
for
better
money.
work. See, this is why you always have to be financially independent.
It's true.
You can write yourself a check out of a pickle.
There you go. That's right. But, you know, Mabel, she could have done that. She had options. But she did actually stay in Pittsburgh for a few nights anyway, because she knew that Ella Fitzgerald was in town singing in a show.
She's like, well, now that I'm here,
Yeah.
I'll catch a show.
Well, not even that. She's like, she walked over and explained the situation, predicament that she was in, and asked Ella for a dance spot.
Oh, shit.
So she did that for a few nights. Just a few nights.
I love her. Oh,
And then-
my God.
And then, again, proving what a star she is, if that wasn't enough, Uncle Wally called and said, you have to get back to L.A. because they wanted to do a story with her and Josephine Baker. So, do we need a breath after all of that name dropping? Honestly.
Oh, hello. Breathe, people, breathe. Just royalty.
She reminds me a lot of Josephine Baker because they're basically both dancers and you know, and these like powerful Black women at the time, like defying all the odds that are against them. So
stacked
Yeah.
odds.
Yes. So anyway, Mabel returned to LA and met with Josephine as soon as her plane landed at the airport. And the press took photos of them right there. They just were like, we'll coordinate the flights and get off and do that. And I tried to find this photo, and for the life of me, I could not. But Mabel said it happened, and I believe Mabel.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Believe women.
believe women. These are also like really, really old. There's just, you know, there's the things that survive and the things that don't. So I'm going to put all the pictures that I do have, though, by the way, on her Substack. So head over there. But speaking of name dropping, Mabel also befriended other stars demonstrating Black excellence in LA, like, as we previously mentioned, Sammy Davis Jr. and Gone with the Wind star Hattie McDaniel, who would later become Mabel's neighbor in tribute form at Hollywood Forever.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was in tribute form because she had wanted to be buried there, Hattie McDaniel, but at the time, no Black dead folks were allowed. Racism to the grave.
Jesus.
But I digress. Between shows and tours, Mabel taught, and she had been doing that since the moment she arrived in LA.
I started teaching as soon as I came here. People would ask me to help them, you know. I said, then why shouldn't I charge you also? You know, when I came out here, they were only charging around $2 or $2.50 a lesson. Excuse me, that's $2 or $2.50 a lesson.
Yeah, the way you say that now totally changes it. It's true.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-mm. They had an instructor, Eugene Mickler. He was charging $5 a lesson. And I said, well, I feel I know as much as he does, so I'll charge $5. They said nobody is going to pay you $5 when they can get it for $2.50. So I said, well, I think I can because I'll teach them how to do it, when they do it, where to do it, and this and that.
She's like, no, actually, I have a lot to offer. So
Yeah, actually, so it's $5.
yeah, that is the price. So once again, Mabel knew her worth. And I said it sooner than this in the script, pretty much at the beginning, but she really, you know, had gotten to the point where she did not need Uncle Wally anymore, especially because the split between them was totally unfair and he blocked her from opportunities by making everything about money.
Uncle Wally, he made me sign this contract for 7 years that we would split 50-50. I said, Wally, you can have all the money. I just want to skate. I don't care about the money. Just let me skate. But he didn't believe me, so he made me sign a contract. The last 2 years of that contract, because I had missed out on so many shows I wanted to do because he wouldn't let me do them because they didn't include him in it. I don't know why no one would believe me that I wouldn't give them the money, but I said, well, the only way to do this is to not skate in any shows. So the last 2 years, I would not skate shows until the contract was up. When it was up, I said, okay. I said, I'm not renewing my contract, Wally. So he said, I guess that's that then. I said, yeah, that's that. You didn't believe I would just give you the money. That's strange because whenever I would tour, you would send me all of these checks and say sign them, and you wrote any amount you wanted in them. I said, that's strange that you did that, But yet, when I'm here, you don't trust that I would give you the money. So then I said, well, if that's the way you feel about it, no sense in our being partners anymore, or you being my manager. You know, when I wanted to go to Japan or to Europe or any place like that, he always put such a stumbling block there that I couldn't go because he was not included. But people are like that when it comes down to money.
Mm-hmm.
It's so true. He's
It's
shady
very
as
true.
hell.
Yeah, all of that is.
I bet
super shady.
he's been skimming money from her
Also
for years.
7 years for 50-50. That's crazy. Like all of those numbers are crazy. So crazy.
Absurd.
So
Crazy.
it was time to end the Uncle Wally chapter.
Past time.
Yep, we're done. So but she still stayed close to him. Like she still cared about him for a long time. Like she even took care of him when he was ailing at one point. So the business relationship ended, but the human relationship really never did. She's like such a beautiful person. I feel like she's just like stands up for herself, but it's also like I'm not gonna let everything ruin, people for me. I don't know. Like, yeah.
And I'm sure because he helped her when she was a child. Like I'm sure he held a very, very, very special place in her heart.
Right. Of course.
Because he did not have to do that. Especially, at the very beginning, what was he getting out of that at the beginning? Nothing.
Right. And he made her that little rank. She was making money at these like clubs. And that was the first time she was really making money skating. I mean, like there's a lot of gratitude there, I'm sure. It's like, that's just like, oh, like for her, I'm sure that was when she realized I can make money doing this, So
I feel like he was just either skimming money from her, and thinking that she would do the same to him, or he just didn't trust other people with his money, which I get. I don't trust other people with my money.
Well, yeah, especially, and he probably in the back of his head, he knew that the deal wasn't fair and that he didn't deserve it. That's the other thing. Do you know what I mean? I think he's probably trying to take whatever he could get while he could get it. That's kind of, just looking out for himself, honestly.
Scuzzy manager behavior.
It is. But, okay. So, but around this time for Mabel, teaching became more of a calling for her than a way to earn a buck. And that's when she became convinced that it was God's will for her to train and champion Black skaters. We talked before on this show about, I think in the Herb Jeffries episodes, about leaving the door open when someone holds it open for you. But in Mabel's case, she wanted to knock down the doors that had been closed to her. She wanted to do it not for her own gain, but on behalf of every other Black child out there who had dreamed of becoming a skater and been told that there was no future in it for them. In fact, the skating rinks themselves tried to close the door on Mabel even when it came to teaching. Even though kids used to make a circle around Mabel and watch her skate, and the parents would offer to pay her money for their lessons before she'd even advertised them, the rinks did not want her to teach. And they told her that it was because she was Black. They didn't even hide it. They're like, you can't teach. Other people can. You can't because you're Black. So
What? That just goes to show you racism costs you. Okay? It costs you. It not only costs you, the moral cost, but these businesses with their racism, it costs you.
Yeah.
Why? Yeah. Why? If
there's a demand. The people want this.
The people want this. The people want this. Like, you have to be. I mean, I think racism is really stupid, but it's really stupid. It really, for me, I'm a data person. I'm a numbers person. If you take emotion out of it and it's just data and numbers, racism is a stupid decision. And it is
especially as a business. Oh my God.
Yes.
Super stupid.
That's not to minimize the moral, what it costs.
Right. No.
Right. But
no, I don't think you were minimizing it. It's just that's they didn't hide it. They're like, you're Black, you can't do it. So Mabel did something about it, something really big and really ballsy and really I don't know. I'm this amazes me. So go on.
Okay. If that's going to be the case, If they're going to discriminate against me and tell me that I cannot teach because I'm black, no matter how much knowledge I have of skating, then I must do something about it. Go to school and get an education again, because you didn't learn anything when you went to high school and got that diploma. You didn't learn anything. Now go to college. So I decided to go to LACC, and I decided to study law. I said, if I study law and I know the law, then they can't do anything about it, and I can stand up for myself. So I did. It took me about 4 years.
Yeah.
Oh my
I know.
God.
I love her. This is like the best way of thinking about things. It's like she's just like, she really did have like a vision of being like, I know there's going to be obstacles, and I am going to make sure I figure out how to get past them. And that's what I'm doing.
God, I love
I know.
I love this woman.
I know.
Like, speaks to my soul.
I know. It's so inspiring.
She's just like so just determined. She's like, well, I'm going to do this, so I'm going to do it.
Right. No, I know.
You know?
It's amazing. It's amazing.
And that's how I kind of live my life.
Yeah. Yeah. But like, also, just as a side note, like when did you go to high school, Mabel? Because I missed that part of the story.
Completely missed that part.
She doesn't mention it. It doesn't feel like she had time. I don't know when that happened. That's a lost mystery, but apparently she went and got a diploma somewhere in her shuffle of things. So yeah. When did she go to school at all? I don't know.
I was thinking, like, when I was reading that, I was like, is this a typo? Like, the whole time I was like, did she go to, okay.
Yeah.
But she went, she did law school. I thought when she said she was going to go to college, I thought she was going to, like, to learn business, and she was going to, like, open up her own rink, and maybe she does,
like go her own way.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And go her own way. That's what I thought she was going to do. But this is way cooler.
It's way cooler. And honestly, she already had, I should have put this in because I just found it out. It's like, again, it's like a hard timeline of things here with all of her shows and her like resume, but she did have that business side of her too, because she did put on a show that had like an interracial skating cast and everything like that. I think she called it, wait, I wrote this down as a note to bring up.
Yeah, she has like a natural business mind, obviously.
She does. And she negotiates for herself. She's working very much as her own manager. She could have, like she's good at that. So
she didn't need that degree. I could see why she was like, let me go for law. I could see that.
Yeah. Yeah. So her own show, by the way, it was called Ice America, and it was billed as the world's only interracial ice and stage show. Yeah. Cool. So she did that. But anyway, awesome. So she was like she already figured out, and she already did her own thing too with her like 6x6 thing. I mean, she had Uncle Wally's help a little bit there, but she's like, yeah, I'm doing this my own way because everybody's closing doors to me. So she always did figure that out. So yeah, now she's like, okay, I'm going to play the big game now, and I'm going to know the law, and your racism isn't going to beat it, basically. So anyway, she had a mission. She had a serious mission.
God had chosen me to put black skating on the map. The only way you can do it is to teach some black kids to skate. You know, Maribel Vinson told me the same thing. She said, Mabel, there are never going to be black kids in competitions or even ice shows unless you do something about it. So you're the first one. So now you train them and get them into competition and get them into shows. And she said that same thing. So I said, well, that's what I'm put here for. That's what I'll do. And I've always been so happy about it. No problem. It took everything I earned, but I enjoyed doing it. I never thought about the money. You see, black skaters didn't have any money to get in, so I had to spend all of my money on them to get them in. Buy them, I'm crying. Buy their costumes and rink admissions, and buy their skates and things like that to keep them in it. Because the parents say we can't afford it. But this way, it was like everything was for free. And they were good hard workers. Those black kids really became such good skaters. I felt nobody could outskate them, really. When I started teaching skating, and when I had to stand up for what is right, then I came out of my shell. I knew that I was very, very important. So I said, who are they to say that I'm this and that? I'm as important, or even more important, than they are.
Yep. And
That's
we will.
right, Mabel!
I know.
Yes!
Let
Let me not screech into the microphone. Sorry.
Yes! Mabel! Yep.
Mabel.
We're cheering your name from the stands of the competition that you should have been allowed to compete in. But it's like, this is what she's doing. This is like the big picture for her. And this is like the dream in her head coming to life, sort of. And it does, you know, and we'll get into like more of the specifics of how and her actual like teaching career that she really became known for, and all of the people that she championed in the way we're describing in the last and final episode.
Oh my gosh, Mabel, you absolute queen.
I know.
I love that. I love that she was like, skating was always like, she was naturally talented,
gifted.
She was gifted. Like, it was her natural gift, but her calling was teaching. And I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because she felt truly called to it. And to put like all of it's not just like her time and efforts and expertise, it's her money and everything she earned, and to just God, I love her.
And
I love her so much.
And she was doing like, there's so many parts of this that, you know, I can't include every part of her oral history. It's long. Right. But she says that there was one point when like she was in Los Angeles already, and somebody in New York called to have her do a show out there, and she was like, I can't do it, but I trained this like Venezuelan girl when I was there. I like helped train her, and she's great, and you should hire her, but you have to pay her my rate. And they were like, well, what's your rate? And she was like $750 a week. And they're like, that's a lot of money. And she was like, yeah, well, like I think she's worth it. That's my recommendation. And then they hired her, and she was like, in her words, she was like, she's been doing well ever since.
Hell yes! Yes! Oh, I fucking love that. I love that so much.
Yeah.
Yes, Mabel.
So she was already like, before even she had the true calling, she was already like, I'm gonna show you my ways. I'm gonna help you out. She was already teaching. She was teaching this whole time. But it was just, and I think she just like had those little moments where it was like, oh no, like you deserve this. You should do this. And it was kind of lifting people up. But then it became like, oh no, I have to do this in a way where I'm really focused on it, you know, to make the changes that I need to see happen. And Mabel Vincent, again, the one who's like, you have to be the one to do this. I feel like she was like the one training her, you know. And I also read in a different place, like just this last week, that Mabel Vincent and the teacher at that ice rink that we talked about last time that were helping coach Mabel and everything, they had to do that at night a lot of times because like they like that's what the source I read said, like because they couldn't do it when other people were around.
Yeah. And I bet just like she did, just like Mabel did for her students, Mabel probably, you know, got her the skates, you know, and like made sure.
Yeah, made sure she was okay.
She was okay. Yeah.
And that she was ready to do it, prepared. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a beautiful thing. And it's like, I just think this is like really an interesting story because I don't expect these kinds of stories to come out of the people that we usually choose for this show, just because it's kind of like, I mean, Mabel's an underdog for sure, but we get a lot of like underdogs, people who got forgotten. Maybe their career went sideways, maybe whatever, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of what I've come to expect. And it almost makes me mad that more people don't know about her because I'm like, this is literally a person who changed the world for people. Like she changed the world for like these athletes. She changed a sport. Like she changed the world. So it's kind of incredible. So more people need to know this woman's name.
Mabel Fairbanks.
Yep.
Episode 3. Final episode coming in a few weeks.
Yep. And that'll be the last episode of season 2. And then we'll be back again in a few months with some more goodies and some more stories and some extras. And it's going to be good stuff.
Delicious.
Delicious stuff. I'm already prepping for it, but need a second to get it together for all that. So, but yeah, this will be a great one to end on. This is like an inspiring as hell story. So,
and we need it.
And we need it. We always need it.
We need a good-hearted underdog story with a good, happy ending. Dear God, please.
Yeah,
we need it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we'll see you guys soon, or you'll hear us soon.
You'll hear us soon. Yes, I can't show. Marissa has vetoed the idea of showing any clips from this episode because she thinks that she is dusty, is what I heard.
Dusty and musty.
Perfect. Well, I'm sweating, so that's fair.
You can hear it in my voice. I'm like so stuffed up from all the dust.
Well, that I can't edit out. But we'll your sniffles and your dust voice stay, but your face stays out of it. All right, we'll see you guys next time, or here we'll whatever. You know what I mean. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. Your support and enthusiasm for the show are the reason we keep doing it. So thanks for the kind words. They really mean the world. If you liked the show or have ideas for episodes we could or should do, please drop us a comment in Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. And if you haven't yet, please follow the show and tell every cinephile and taphophile, fun fact, that's a person who loves graveyards, about your new favorite niche podcast. And if you want to see transcripts, photos, and sources for our episodes, check out our Substack, Dead and Kind of Famous. Dead and Kind of Famous is written, produced, and edited by Courtney Blomquist. It is hosted by Marissa Rivera and Courtney Blomquist. And special thanks to Jesse Russell, my husband, for allowing me to yammer on about the episodes before I can spill it all to Marissa. He tends to have some good insights and ideas, so thanks. Until next time, you might not be famous, but you've got a story to tell and you're not dead yet.